Honestly, it was really good.
All right, everyone. All right, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hey, we're online. Hey, guys, go ahead and sign up for me. Share, like, all that good stuff. Facebook, Twitter. And we'll be ready to rock and roll here soon. All right, guys. So what I'm gonna do is gonna get you guys name. Hit that for me. All right. Have you guys introduce you guys self, and we'll rock and roll here. Got a good lineup today. How you guys liking Jackson?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Okay, man. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. To my left. Or to my to his right.
I'm 26 and I did not know that.
You, ma'am?
21.
Well, okay, then got to get old young energy in here. That's what I'm talking about.
Why we still got it?
Why we still got it? Well, I tell people, I'm always getting younger. You know what I'm saying? I can't do all this old stuff, I call it seasonal. Seasonal, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Hey, you see? You got a lot long to go. A lot long to go. You got a lot more longer to go.
I'm about to just go in there in the corner right here. I don't either.
We'll break through that nerves and energy, guys. And so, what states are you guys going to be over? Is Mississippi or what are you guys on?
In terms of
what you guys doing?
Oh, we're in 10 states across the South.
Okay, what about you guys three though? Specifically, you guys three.
10 states.
Facilitating a network of organizations.
Okay, I got you. Well, that's a good thing. Got a little think tank thing going on there to a certain degree.
Yeah.
That's how I would look at it. Or liaisons, or how you want to look at it. Whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, we're unable to be in all of the states, and so
That's
we
good.
leverage.
That's good. A good little nucleus. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Take a picture and send it
You are on Facebook Live, bro, because I just assumed that she knew where we were. She said, oh, where are y'all socials? Get on y'all socials.
That's what they supposed to
Tell me where
do.
you are.
like a day.
No, a dad, you would have had it up in your Vicky.
All right, guys. So we're going to rock and roll.
Every Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. exclusively on 90.1 FM WMPR. This show is designated as your platform for calling to discuss and be informed of all community-minded issues of all Mississippians here and abroad. Moreover, this is your open forum, and you're invited to voice your opinions and concerns relative to matters that affect you in our capital city, Jackson, and throughout the state of Mississippi and abroad. We now join Live Mississippi with your host, DeKeither Mississippi House of Representatives, District 66 on 90.1 FM, the voice of the community, WMPR.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Reviving Mississippi to the listening audience all overseas, the southern region of the United States. Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are doing pretty good this week thus far. I have a good show for you guys this evening. And just want to talk a little about the weather. I just noticed, I just came back from, I was actually out west, and came back, it was cold out there out west, and what's going on here in the south? It's just 80-something degrees. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. Everybody, please make sure you're still dressing accordingly. Make sure you're still hydrating, all that good stuff, whether it's hot or cold. Make sure you're hydrating and whatnot, though, because especially the senior citizens, make sure we're looking out for them because that can easily get us sick so quickly, whatnot, though, with the constant weather change and whatnot. We want to make sure we keep our those who are in bereavement also in prayers this evening. Make sure we do that. The co-host or the host, Mr. DeKeither Stamps, he's out there on the front line. I hate to say it to everyone that the last couple, about 4, 5, 6 weeks now, he's been out there pushing the needle forward. As you guys already know, he'll be running for public service commissioner for Central Mississippi. So please, guys, we about to get that ball rolling here pretty soon. So reach out to us. Let us know how you like to help out, support, and assist, and how we can actually make sure we pass the finish line here. All right. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Now, I mention this all the time. I know Stamp does a great job at it. But if you're looking for any transportation, and I mean it, any transportation, you got disabilities, is it last minute or whatnot, or you got a huge congregation, Michael Jordan Transportation. That is the man for the job. Any job, not one job is too small for him. I recall last year when we had voter registration, this man laid the whole fleet out for us. Okay, then so he was making sure people in the tribe, I say in the greater Jackson area, made sure that everyone had everything they needed to go and cast that number one currency that we do have, which is voting. So guys, let's make sure we also, if you have anything dealing with transportation that you may need assistance with, please contact Michael Jordan Transportation. Also, if you're trying to learn how to, get back to the earth, that's what I tell people, get back to the earth. BaoBab Farms, we're out there in Raymond showing individuals how to get your hands a little dirty, how you can secure the number one thing is your food, produce, So if you want to learn how to become a farmer, or you want to just do something different, some of us, we like going to a whole paycheck. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not going to stop nobody from going to whole paycheck. But also, if you want to save a few little, pennies and take a price of Jordans, $200, and show up how you can set up your own raised bed, grow those produce, go out there and nurture it, talk to it, be out there with the oneness with nature. That's a lot of healing if you ask me. Contact BaoBab Farms and BaoBab Co-op. Also, we want to make sure we mention if you need that cold pressed juice. Now, I'm talking about the nutrients that's going to stay alive, not the ones you buy at the store with the preservatives, or the ones that's probably pasteurized and then kept every last good thing in there as far as the enzymes. And you want to contact BaoBab Barista. Get your true, real cold pressed juice, 601-699-3869. So for that being said, guys, I'm taking care of my sponsors. I forgot my one sponsor. If Stamps was here right now, he would probably get on my case. Stamps Burger. Now, y'all already know, if you want a good meal, it's really, I know it's supposed to be a hamburger, hamburger using a full course meal, 5 course, but that burger, I'm talking about, it's enough to take care of you for lunch, dinner, and probably a late night snack, if you ask me now. My good brother's here today. He'll tell you that, hey, he loves those doggone it lemon pepper fries. Now, me personally, guys, like if you want that good old veggie burger, go right on down there in Dalton Street. Stamps Burger gonna take care of you. Been around for 20 plus years, I believe. If my memory serves correct, maybe 30 years. I could be a little bit short there thinking about that. But hey, let's go ahead and get to the meat of our conversation this evening. When now, though, we got our first guest. I'm not coming to their own words. We want to discuss this voting. We got a lot of voting. This is election season, as we already know, listeners. But it's nothing like having young people. They are the future. They will be dealing with what we're doing right now next 20 and 30 years when they get to their 50s and 60s and 70s. So it's always a great deal to see young people wanting to be engaged in the political process, indirectly and directly. So guys, to my far left, go ahead and introduce you guys yourself this evening for me, please.
Sure. I'm Jordan Davis.
All right.
I'm Jenny McKinney.
Okay.
And I'm Naya Whitfield.
All right. So what brings you guys to the great state of Mississippi?
So we are here as sponsors for the Defending Democracy Summit that is hosted by Mississippi Communities United for Prosperity, which is one of our grantees as a part of the Southern Leaders for Voter Engagement Network. So we're here supporting them and supporting our partners on the ground, and we're just excited to be here in the great state of Mississippi.
Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead, man. You? Hey, just get a little nervous. It's just us talking. Go ahead.
It's all good, but no, we're here for the same reason. We just tagged along with Jordan to help out.
So what guys, I mean, you guys, you have an age range from 24 to 26, I believe here. Or 21 to 26 age range, let me correct myself. So what got you guys really engaged in? Because I know, once you go to college, you have that life, or you decide to do something else, maybe go to the military and you say, you know what, I'm going to sit back and just, do some small little things until I figure my way out. But what got you guys involved in what you guys are doing right now? Sure.
Well, before coming to the Solve Network, I worked a lot in nonprofits that were doing direct service work. And I see a difference between consequence work and cause work. And I was frustrated in those contexts. Providing.
I'm sorry, I meant to stop you. So you told me consequence work and cause work. Well, so I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let you just run over me like that. I'm gonna need you to break that down to myself and the listeners because I like how I love the terminology, but I want to get a little more meat. Okay. So tell me about this consequence and cause, please.
So consequence work, I'll give you an example. I was working for a homeless shelter for women and children in Wake County, North Carolina, and I was leading a youth support group while my coworkers led a parent support group.
Okay.
Now we were helping folks deal with the effects of homelessness, but we weren't doing much of anything to address the root causes of homelessness, and that burnt me out. Because you're making an impact on individuals, but you're not impacting the systems. And so there are going to continue to be people that need help. And so what I love about the Solve Network, what I love about our partners is we're working to change the systems.
So, okay, then I could be devil's advocate right now, but I'm not going to give it to you just yet because I want you to come back. But, we do see that though. The things that we're dealing with today, there's nothing new at all. They are kind of forefront in our faces nowadays. You're right. And then I look at this like you talk about depression. A lot of people are just sick and tired, don't know what to do. Suicide rates are on the rise, because they don't have a importance of self at all, So to see you guys, you just said, well, you know what, Jason, I saw this and this wasn't really going on. So I got to get to the root cause of it. Give me an example of how you guys' organization are actually dealing with the root cause.
So
we can share the mic,
Yeah, I'm happy to share the mic. Y'all want to speak to Solve?
Go ahead. All three of you guys can speak. Go ahead.
Okay. So how are the Solve Network directly impacting the root causes? So we're actually going to our partners, seeing the lay of the land on the ground. With most philanthropic arms or people who give out monies to organizations to do voting rights, civic engagement work, you often see it as kind of paternalistic in nature, which is where, the organization is very restrictive on what organizations can do, what their grantees can do, and that hinders the work. And so with us being here on the ground, us being collaborative with our partners and finding ways to help them, but not just finding ways, letting them lead the way, and seeing how we can support them in their efforts, I think is super helpful. And that's the difference to me and how Solve is actually effectuating change.
So Solve, once again, that's Southern
Leadership for Voter Engagement.
So, and that's over. You guys were telling me now, earlier we talked a little bit, you guys mentioned to me, you guys covered not just, Mississippi, but some other states. So what's the range we're looking at right here? Texas to Virginia.
10 states.
10 states. Wow. And you guys are basically hitting, I would say, the areas that need the most justice,
right?
The most solutions, whatnot. Where they may look at, Black and brown areas that poverty is really up, homelessness is really up, whatnot. Those type of nations, those areas you guys are focusing on. Tell me, now I'm gonna let the sister to my left talk because you guys have been talking pretty well, whatnot though. But what are some steps because you guys are in the conference right now, correct?
Right.
So how long has it been going on? Today's first day or what?
So today was like kickoff.
Okay, kickoff. Kickoffs are really good. Usually they just throw some good stuff out there, get you all energetic, get you, engaged, all that good stuff. Then we get to the meat till later on. So what are some things that you guys that were brought out today that people who are listening right now would actually like to know about, want to get engaged? Because believe it or not, grapevine goes better than social media. You can post all day you want to, you can do all that, but when people hear about word of mouth, which is we're doing right now, it can spread you guys' messages out a lot further, whatnot though. So what couple of things that came out there while you was down there in that nice good old conference under the AC, not in the heat? You know, if you don't mind, let me know, ma'am.
So for me, I would have to say in terms of voting rights, and just intertwining everything. I always go back to this John Lewis quote.
Okay.
Like I always go back to him because when it comes to voting rights, he's always chef's kiss. And he said they wouldn't try to take away your vote if it wasn't important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think what I took away from it today is we need to put people in place that makes our vote worthwhile. Like we need to put people in place, especially like community organizers, people who are actually in tune with the community. Because I know, for example, in North Carolina, we have a lot of people who represent people, but don't live in that community. And so I think it's important for the community to bring forth people that they feel that they trust to like lead and make these policy changes if they feel like they're make their vote worthwhile.
So is the community, which I do speak a lot on this radio show, from you guys' perspective, 21, 26 across 10 states. I know it's a lot of correlations in all these states, what's going on. But do you see the community members being engaged and being involved in the process? Do you see that numbers going up? You see it increasing at all, whatnot though? Or you just say, hey, we're doing the best we can do? Because my thing at the end of the day, you're talking about accountability right now. And so, 5% is cool, but 20, 30%, you can kind of change that ship. Instead of heading in one direction, it can start going the direction you need to be going now though in 2023. So my question, do you see a lot of people getting engaged and involved in the political process, or do they even have the time to get engaged in the political process?
I would say definitely, especially my generation. Oh my goodness, yeah, we're definitely politically engaged.
So let's define that. Let's define it. So what do you mean by
define political? Like define it for me.
So I'm gonna tell you my rough definition top of my head right now. I'm talking about numbers right now. Numbers and because politicians, when they run for office, they just can't go out there and put their name on a ballot. It takes money. Okay, it takes sacrifice. Okay, and now voting is a currency. I agree with you fully. Now millennials, I'm a millennial, and those who came after me, it's not like we make a lot of money too now. Okay, so I was gonna be honest with it now. So I'm asking, that might be a little tough question, but I'm asking it for a reason. Because the way the game is played right now, you got to have sponsors. You got to have real sponsors. Now it shouldn't be that way because the voting should be able to cancel all that out if there was what we talked about earlier, organized. So go ahead.
But there also has to be with that organization priorities. So we'll prioritize Netflix, BET Plus subscriptions, Hulu, Peacock. But that money can be channeled to a community organizer who wants to run for office, right? Sacrifice. So it's all about our priorities.
And you have to realize there are a lot of elected officials who were elected based off not on sponsors, but based off the community. Like Obama, he didn't get his money from, well, he did, but a lot of his money came from like people, like Black people donating to the campaign.
I'm gonna take this car here. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Hold on. I gotta wait till let me see. Hold on here. Caller, you on the air, caller?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
Well, it really doesn't take a lot of money to sponsor. I'm a grassroots organizer, and the reason why, my name is Darrell Diab, the reason why I'm running for office, I'm not a politician. I want to serve my community, and I want to be able to solve problems. At 18, I was assistant secretary on the Stephen Parker Weaver and Mr. Tisdale and Representative Evans, and I was one of the youngest people. But let me give y'all some good advice. Those voter registration forms are ready, and you have them filled out and target the universities. Our universities are not activated with these youth. And these youth see things that the older generation, they're not kosher. That's why we're the mess we're in now with young people. And don't be afraid and scared to step on toes. When you step on the mask, because it's a shame the way I see it look. And with this homelessness, people have responsibility of their own. And the only way you can change the game is empower them, let them work, make sure they get off these substances and these boogeymans and demons they have inside. And Jackson is a treasure trove, but all these abandoned houses, get with people that can renovate them and make them safe houses and houses where they can rehab. Because a homeless person, he's probably in that condition because likely, and I'm almost 60 years old, and I'm giving them places to stay. They need spirituality and correctness in their life. And as y'all young people do, no, you don't need sponsors. What you need is dedication and love and heart for your people. Go out and start a grassroots movement. And when they see you doing that, we didn't have no money, but we gathered the hearts of the people and took that voting block and that voting power. And that's what y'all need to do again here in Jackson, Mississippi. Let me give you an example.
Caller, hold on, caller. I'm gonna have to limit my calls because I have another guest coming on too, sir. Apologize about that, sir. Appreciate it, sir. All right, so he said actually there's a lot of solution on the spear. You know, I would agree with the caller on one side of it. You know, it's all about sacrifice. Okay, then so if we talking about if we were talking about Civil Rights Voting Rights Act, you guys already know that those who made those sacrifices, they didn't vote to get the Civil Rights Voting Act. Okay, they control the economics, they got organized, they got everything he was saying by block. They had a lot of culture too back then. Okay, the community actually had culture. Now you're talking about that fast forward, you know, one thing about the systems, they're gonna study you more than you study yourself. All right. And so now you're talking about 2023. You know, I'm not gonna disagree. I would tell the caller, that we do need more sacrifice. You just mentioned it actually. You said, hey, Jason, I know you got Netflix. I know you got, you know, what's that? Apple TV, Apple Music, Hulu. So ain't nothing on there. So you're saying that, hey, but my thing is this though. The only question, I'm not being devil's advocate. I'm gonna let my guy here speak a little bit because he deals with a whole portion of the 2/3 of the city of Jackson, or part of the whole entire city of Jackson, as far as neighborhood association and stuff like that. My thing is, you know, I have to self-medicate myself somehow dealing with this world I'm living in. So you want to take away the little that I got and put in some hope and dreams and possibly, I'm being devil's advocate. This is how some people actually feel. Yeah. You know, so if somebody was like that, what would you say to them, ma'am?
Not you put me on spot like that. But no, and it just goes down. Sometimes, in all honesty, some people don't have the means to donate.
That's true.
And that's completely okay. But it's also okay. You can donate your time too.
Okay.
You can donate, you can volunteer, you can go help register people to vote. You can do all of these things to help organize and move people.
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. Here moving forward, man, I'm glad you guys are to come by. I'm gonna make sure I give you guys time to get them your contact, your information. Before that though, Mr. Bird, I know you were listening in. I know you came a little bit late, but I know you love this type of stuff right here. You have any comments with another? We're talking about voter registration right now, organizing. Any comments at all, sir?
One vote, one difference, all the world. Most people know mathematically it's impossible to go from 0 to 1 without that dash. When you see tomorrow's leaders in the room today voicing their opinion about how important it is to vote, most people don't understand that in a republic, not a democracy, it's one voice, one vote. You can win a game by one vote, 1 point, you can win the election by one vote. Policy has to do with collective collaboration. When I see young people coming together to make a difference instead of trying to make money, it's powerful in itself. And there's nothing more powerful than that one. And I'm glad to see that you all want to be that one.
All right, I appreciate it. Look. Yeah, they're gonna get all of that. Hold on. That's the Delta, Mississippi talking right there. But hey, guys, let everyone know how they can actually support you guys' organization, contact information, social media, all that good stuff for them, please. Well, not everybody at once.
Y'all created the social media.
But let's give us a name. We can do this all. Come on.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Instagram, Solve Network Official.
So it's
Solved, SOLVE, like I'm solving the
Okay.
puzzle.
mhm.
Network Official.
Okay, Solve Network. Okay, then.
Yep.
Well, we look forward to you guys actually keep on pushing needle forward. I know it's kind of like short notice, but hey, anytime we got people, you guys in the state, Mississippi, and you covering, 10 states, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, you're in Mississippi, so our roots stretch very far out, so I'm pretty sure those people you're touching in other states are also our loved ones, our family members, our church members, so on and so on. So guys, if there's anything that myself or Mr. DeKeither Stamps, who's not here right now, can do to help you guys, just let us know, reach out to us.
Absolutely.
By your liaison, and we'll find what we can do to help push the needle for you guys. Okay, been a pleasure, being an honor, guys. Be safe out there. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and bring our next guest up here. That was pretty powerful right there. You have to see that, guys. Get a little change up here.
I'm trying to read this name.
Come on, now. There you go. Come on, I'm about to get myself in trouble. Have a seat for me, John. All right, then. So it's good that we have these reviews. The good book always talk about the youth should be leading the way. And so it's not like stumbling upon. Stamps was here right now. I gotta say this. Because this man loves agriculture. So him not being here, I'm pretty sure you can make some time because you don't have to hear. You're like, I gotta talk to these guys. But we have the Green Church, Environmental Justice, the Black Church Response to Climate Change here. They have our 3 pillars: amplifying green theology, promoting sustainable practices, building power for change. The Green Church is a sustainability initiative designed to tap into the power and purpose of the Black church community and expand the role of churches as centers for environmental and economic resilience. Individuals, ally member, okay, got members, got congregation, association. Okay, then. So, Pastor, go ahead in your own words. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, guys, and what you guys doing with this initiative you have right here for the Save Lives with Strong Suit Pollution Standards.
Good evening. Thank you, Brother Clark, for
Yes,
having
sir.
us on today. I'm Bruce Carroll from the great state of Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
here with my wife, Vicky. We're here in this city this week, today, with the Mississippi Defending Democracy, Education, Environmental, Social Justice Network. And
Yes, sir.
we represented Green the Church on today in their conference as we open up their conference on the day. We are a grassroots movement that was founded by my brother, Dr. Ambrose Carroll, in the state of Denver, Colorado. He also lives now in Oakland, California, where we were raised as children there in that state. And so we've come together as a group, which was really called Carroll Ministries. It started as a group. There are 4 pastors in our family, 3 male, 1 female, and 6 of us are all involved in ministry. And so my brother's vision was to wake up the sleeping giant in our churches, which is the Black church.
Yes, sir.
The Black church has been on the forefront of every political, every movement that has happened in this country alone. So now there's one issue that we're dealing with now is our environment, our climate issue. Someone texted me the other day and said, "What's the problem with our climate?" I said, "Mother Nature's mad as hell."
Well, you might got a point because a lot of people will agree with that. Yes, sir.
It's 78, 80 degrees in this
Mhm.
February.
Mhm.
And so how do we get this information into our Black churches to sustain them, and keep them moving forward? So we're a repository.
Okay.
And what we do is we bring that information to the Black church in ways where we can start out just by simply taking a spot of land next door to your church,
Mhm.
in the urban community and creating a garden.
Okay.
Very simple. Also, we may have our Black churches are known for building buildings. We have buildings that need work on. They may need the windows fixed. May need the lighting needs to be adjusted. Also, we are part of bringing solar energy to our Black churches in particular. We've just finished a project in Hayward, California with the Glad Tidings Church of God in Christ,
Okay.
where we put solar panels, EV charger stations, and electric cars. Also, the Allen Temple Baptist Church in Oakland, California, the same thing. So we're doing that in the state of Georgia, in the state of Georgia, and even Maryland also. Oh, that's not a state, city. But we're connected. Green the Church also has affiliate organizations. We're connected with Interfaith. So we have Green Church affiliates with Green Church Louisiana, Green
Okay.
Church Georgia, Green Church Texas, Green Church California. And so from that, we've grown over the past 10 to 12 years. And we want to connect the dots and invite people to take care of God's creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's biblical. And so that's what we're standing on.
So let me go ahead and get into some meat conversation
Okay.
with Nato, because we're in the agricultural state now. We in Mississippi.
I heard you say
We have 1
million.
million. We got 1 million
I
acres
heard
plus
that.
of farmland
Yes, sir.
that's not being utilized.
Yeah.
But we also have land that we do have adjacent to churches on the church property, and I don't know, and I believe several years ago, I'm not saying like some a project like this, but they did have churches having these hoop houses out there and everything, and I saw some pluses with that. But doing a little SWOT analysis now, that is great. We do on one end, but the marketing of it to make sure you have customers. So let's say if, for example, I grew up 7-Day Adventist. So it's about 3 or 4 7-Day Adventist churches in the city of Jackson, okay, and then or out in the Great Jackson area. And if we were able to come together, pull our mass produce, now these restaurants is out here, okay, then we can make a pipeline for them that something's actually locally grown. I'm looking at your word justice, environmental justice. And so my thing is, we gotta find, I don't know if you guys already done this already, you got some examples, that you can share with us as even how we can make that happen. Because when you compete against fast food, just being honest with you, back in the day, grandma always told put some green on the plate. Ain't nothing green on the plate no more, really. And I'm being honest with you, but that's the iron we missing out of our bodies, and so on and so on. So my question would be whether or not, though, because I know if Stance was here right now, he would be like, well, Jason, just ask this question, just ask that question, because he's actually done these things with churches, and very successful. Kick off. But if I drive around the neighborhood right now or the city right now, I'm gonna see the frame. I'm still see the frame around there.
And just more in defense of both Stamps who's not here, and I'm also a country boy that grew up on farm. That you all did any community gardening, and so who y'all partnered with, and what was the success rate?
So we've done at my own church. We've done the garden at my own church in Antioch Baptist Church in Shreveport, Louisiana. But also we're connected with the Black Food Security Network.
Okay.
Heber Brown out of Maryland.
Okay.
He planted a garden next to his church, but he's worldwide all across the country, and he's doing that work. So we're connected. We are a repository for information.
Yeah, I got you.
So what happens is that we have stories that we can tell and share on our website, where we can share where people have urban farms and where they're doing that type of work across the country.
So one thing, they're creating that good ecosystem. They're creating ecosystem. Their customers are those who are around them, which of course they're members, and those who are actually part of want to buy into it and whatnot, though.
And what happens is it comes through the Black church. The idea is to get it through the Black church. That's not just a Baptist church, but the 7-Day Adventists.
You're talking about across
okay,
the board. No, I'm only mentioning that because that's my foundation. But my thing is, we have over about 500 now.
We have over 500 churches and places of worship. My thing is the schools, and I guess I group the Future Farmers of America, our project in the Delta. I'm going to listen to the Delta. We couldn't help but to have farming.
Yes, sir.
And with a food desert in Jackson, with 7 wards and all these communities needing healthy produce, I was wondering if there are any outreach programs to make sure that we can have information to make sure that we can start, especially those underserved and undermined communities.
So once again, we're here with this organization. They're from DeKeither.
Okay, then I know it's an hour out.
Ramona Williams, Ms. Ramona Williams has us here.
Okay.
And looking at the work they're doing just in DeKeither with those students traveling to different places. They're planting working with gardens, learning how to, which flower takes in this kind of water. So once again, when you talk about those resources, we're all connected
Yeah, gotcha.
to those persons.
You
that are
made a
doing
point.
great
So you're
work.
basically like a good liaison, probably in the right direction, but you want to know about what's going on. Like, what are your needs? What are your needs? Because, for example, you mentioned solar panels.
Yes, sir.
So solar energy, that's coming. That's here.
That-
You know,
That's here,
you
Mississippi.
know. I'm gonna say this here in the United States. It's-
Okay, I
you
got
know,
in the farm. Okay.
Clark County.
yeah. So,
Okay, cool.
so my thing is to hear about. And I'm gonna be honest, it's the first time I ever heard about Black Church doing some stuff with solar energy. You said solar energy. You
EV
said
starting station.
you said
electric
EV.
cars.
You said cars and all that.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
so I need one of those in Mississippi now.
Oh,
but only because once again we had a young folks on here earlier a minute ago. They are the future.
Yes.
Their world will be look like that.
Most definitely.
You mentioned California. California just said I think 2030. Yeah, 2035. 35. They said no more of that. No more of this emission stuff.
Right.
You know,
Totally.
so they're gonna be dealing with this type of stuff, whatnot though. And Mississippi, we just gotta get on board some type
Yes,
of
sir.
some way, some type of how, and then we don't need to be in silos. So for example, we got somebody doing it in the state, let's say it's Duck Hill, or say somebody, we need to be telling that story out loud because you know that spreads around. Then before you know, hey, well, we got the vibe, we got the facility, we got this, we got X, Y, and Z. And then you're also teaching trades or indirectly you are exposing people to things they never ever will be exposed to.
And also that's why we're also part of the climate action campaign.
Yes.
Where other states, Texas, Georgia, but Mississippi's not on that list. So we want to connect Mississippi on that list because Biden has already put down the resources.
I heard about it.
Okay, so we want to put the word out to the state representatives, to senators, to sound the alarm, and that we need the resource in order to make this happen.
Well, it's not like going to the community right now with who's listening to you.
True.
Because they're gonna make those phone calls, believe it or not. Today they probably gonna be tearing Stamps phone up. Just being honest with you.
So when he hears about us,
So he is bad, but part know him. He part of trying to be one step ahead, engaged in some aspect, another one not.
All I said was I just hadn't seen his name, so I want to make
For
sure.
sure,
I'm
I
glad
got
to be
you.
here.
I
I'm glad to
got
be
you.
here. Yeah, to make it happen. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, we need to, guys. In the future, or the future is now. As one guy, Moses West, told me. I know you heard about this brother who makes water out of air.
Yes.
Yeah. So Moses always says, "Jason, future's here. We ain't got to wait no. We ain't got to wait forever."
That's right.
And so agriculture, Mr. DeKeither Stamps always talks about agriculture, energy, and broadband is what we're going to be needing for the next 100 years.
Yes.
And so having, organizations like you guys self, and I like because you're just calling it out. You're not biting your tongue at it. I'm just being honest with you because many of us, you got to say it a nice way. You got to not say it. I'm just being honest. In some way, you got to say it.
Sure.
But really, just be honest about it.
And I know Martin King had a dream. You got no problem with that.
Problem
But
with that.
also another writer said we have no time to dream or drill.
Mhm,
We
you're
got
right.
hard work to do. We got loads to live. So not a struggle. It's God's gift. That's the
You're
gift.
right.
So we got it. So we, so once again, the future's here. You said it. We need to prepare for the next. Should have been preparing for the next 100 years.
That's true.
50 years ago. So
That's
we got to step up, whatever it takes by any means necessary.
You're right. You're right. So tell me this: how long have you guys been in operation with you guys project y'all been doing?
Green the church.
Yeah. How long have you been around? Actually,
It started as care ministry in 1997.
you did something.
In 2008, we created Green the Church. In 2008,
Okay.
we've had about 8 conferences from Chicago, Maryland, St. Louis. We've done conferences in California. I'm missing one state, but anyway,
That's fine.
North Carolina. And
So I'm here is having that big snowball effect. It's growing.
It's growing.
It's growing.
We did virtual 2020,
Okay.
300 people on the virtual piece.
Okay.
So we're growing. And this week we're in Atlanta, Georgia, also representing at the Proctor Conference. So once again, we're moving and
So-
getting word out.
Well, let me ask. I know we got a little bit more time here. What's some future? And I'm saying what do you guys see yourself in the next couple of years, next 2 or 3 years, with the work you guys doing, with the collaboration, people you guys are talking to, meeting with, whatnot, though, because the South is the best land, to grow by anything, and especially here in Mississippi. some of the number one, if not the number one soil in the United States is Mississippi. Okay, then, and food will be, it's already scarce. Real food is already scarce already. You don't really eat real food no more. And a lot of people don't want me to say that, but it's true though, because everything's genetic modified, and now they got a new thing called RNA modified, so they take it to another level. So, and we also know that soil. Now, I wish Dan was here right now. He's showing me how to grow compost right now.
Wow.
So I grow my soil.
Okay.
So,
You take a Jones route to reforestation, making sure you take your compost so you can get the nitrous and nutrients back in the soil so that you have a better product.
Wow.
and that's the big scarcity. I know when you guys are out there with the people you guys are talking to and doing their work, I wanted to throw that in because soil is just as important as growing produce. Okay, then so I was on YouTube, looking at YouTube, and I'm seeing all these companies and folks growing, making soil. I was like, man, snaps, if I came from the military, I would have went to this first before doing all this. So I'm saying exposure though, and we can make sure we throw that in there for maybe y'all may have some goals or with collaboration you guys collaborating with and say, hey, we might need to make sure we got a hub for soil. Okay, we got a hub for somebody's growing worms. Okay, then so there's worms that so you know I'm learning that.
Yeah, but I know all of it because like I said, I grew up on a farm, Future Farmers of America, was scientists about nature.
Okay.
The compost, you can't grow healthy food without a healthy soil.
Right.
Because whatever goes in gonna come out.
Sure.
Same thing with the pollutants and nitrogen and anything goes in. So the composting, what you were saying was they take waste products and turn it to fertile soil. And there's a food deficit in all urban or black communities. What better way than to collaborate with the churches so you can have food for the soul in the body.
Because church land is holy land.
Church land is holy land.
Church land
The
is
body's
holy
your
ground.
temple. We need
That's
to
right.
have the best inside that temple.
That's right. And so that land is not contaminated.
That land is
So
not
we can use those. So we're engaging into our churches to use their land. There's a brother I know just bought 10 acres. His his church sits on 10 acres that hadn't been used for anything. That's in California though. That's in Georgia. But the idea is how can he use his land to provide vegetables, solar panels? How can he use that land to create a healthy situation? Because we're dealing with people right now. Yes, we want good soil, but we also want to put good food in our kids' body. We want them to also breathe good air. We got to deal with, they got lungs, probably got problems with asthma, COPD. We want to deal with those issues, try to fight against this soot that we're dealing with and they're currently dealing with. Yeah, and so once again, so it's not, yes, the agriculture is one part of it, but all of it, we can't have one without the other.
Being that we have gotten so far away from the land, okay, which again, we got so far away from the temple, if you want to look at that perspective, is that once again, if you take care of that foundation to the degree you can, it sprouts and grows out to everything else that we're talking about. For example, diabetes. Okay, then. I mean, I can just say right now, just being honest with you, though, it is causing genocide really amongst us, if you really want to be honest with it. But then again, as Mr. Bird just spoke on, you got food deserts everywhere, even in an urban city like the city of Jackson area. You can't make no excuse for some of this stuff, And you're saying, hey, we need many more churches to. I don't care what denomination you guys are, non-denomination, get a part. Go ahead.
One of the hardest things, even at the church, we talk about garden, we talk about food, and we talk about the effect of even meat that bothers us, right? So in our churches, what we do on anniversary service, we serve chicken, fried chicken, pork. We serve all that eating, but we trying to get our bodies healthy. So we got to change that. We got to change that mindset.
We can't be reading Genesis now. Hold on, Pen. Now you better stop this now. Don't get me in trouble, folks on this listening now.
Again, the reality is we got to, So even with the fast food, growing up in my mama's house, we didn't go to McDonald's. We didn't go to Burger. It was Burger Chef, I guess, in St. Louis, Missouri. We ate at home, and we ate 3 meals a day. Yes, we drank from the water hose outside. It was all systematically put in place. But as time began to change, and as we got older, so once again, it's a mental piece that has to be reprogrammed. or we have to be decolonized. That's another word.
Well,
That's it, right?
well, also reconnect to nature, though. I mean, you both saying the same thing, but let's look at that right quick. I know we got some more time, but let's look at that right quick, though. Let's address that, though. Seriously, you know, you have a system in place. That train is already taken. It's gone. Okay, then, and many of us are affected by that. So, you know, we can't just save the whole elephant in one piece. Now we got to take one little piece at a time because we're not organized.
I got you.
All right. So I'm agreeing with you now, but I kind of like Stamp. I would strongly say, and we need to focus on not just from us here in Mississippi. We focus on that agriculture piece right there,
Sure.
which is touching the solar and all that. It can start to create some lighthouses, I would say, around here where people can get that change. Because a lot of young folks, they don't want some vegetables, some greens.
Yeah, well, I didn't like spinach growing up, right? But I always ate spinach.
You got
my mama mixed them with she mixed them with the regular grain. My point I'm trying to make is that yes, once again, getting back to the soil.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, focus on that issue. That's where we can start with that agriculture piece. Start with that garden. Start there.
But let me tell you the reason why, and also I'm mentioning that. They have this thing called a worm tea tonic. Okay, then. This is just messed my head up. Because I'm mentioning this for the listening audience because you can tell somebody what to do or get them to do better for themselves, and you can make sure they got a way to eat. Okay, as far as job creation, that's what I'm really talking about right now. Okay, then we talk about growing produce. Like I said earlier, we have plenty of churches growing these high tones around here, but they didn't come from an economic perspective of it too. The spiritual side and it must talk to each other. It got to go hand in hand. Okay, then so. That soil is critical because it can show you how Stamps. I can tell all the secrets right now. You might get mad, but he done taught me how to. If I want this thing to yield a certain type of way, and no chemicals now.
Yeah, everything organic.
He tell me exactly how to do it. All right. So because you want more produce yielding, then he'll tell you, hey, if you cut it right here, it's gonna keep on growing. It's gonna keep on. It ain't gonna stop. But he also said this was all in the soil. He said, folks talking about doing this, doing all this. This was in the soil. But that's like your foundation though. But all I'm saying is this though. Soil makes money. All right then. So I ain't talking about just the produce side. Now you see what I'm saying. I love the produce. If you got that worm farm going and that worm tonic, that produce is it's an ice on the cake.
This is my first time hearing that.
Well,
and I'm glad to hear it. So I'm interested to know more about that. But I'm hearing the economics. Yes, sir.
Think about Dubai, which was a desert, and now it's fertile and the most prosperous land. Wow. They regenerated the land now taking care of them. Yes. And fortunately, in most communities, they don't realize they fight wars over land. They fight wars over poverty and power. You have to eat because of food, water, and shelter.
Mm-hmm.
The land would take care of you if you take care of it. What Brother Stamps would be, if he was here, he was saying, I didn't figure it out because he's second and third generation farmers.
There you go.
That dirt took care of him, so he got to take care of that dirt.
Okay. Yes.
And the body is a temple. When you're saying that the fast foods in this generation, there's so many chemicals in it. You take the hamburger, it'll sit there 4 years, and you come back and steal that hamburger.
Yes.
Because there's more chemicals than it actually is a natural byproduct of nature. So in our communities, we have to make sure that we understand what you take in. Some of it don't never go away. And we hurt ourselves by trying to help ourselves, by trying to get cheap way out, or not eating healthy. That's why I love to hear what you're saying when you bring the talent in with the church.
Yes, sir.
Because the church is the main, so they got the land.
Yes,
They
They got the people.
Yes.
They just don't have the seeds in the ground yet. And so we're gonna be planting seeds, like the scriptures say, we got to plant them.
But we're gonna fertilize that ground first, right?
We're gonna make sure that the ground is
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you
because
go.
we don't want to grow chemicals in the plants and give them to the people. We want to grow good, fresh fruits and vegetables so that the body and the soul they want. So that's why I'm here.
And while we're teaching that to the land, we're also teaching that to our people so that their children. So what's going to happen is that when we talk about diabetes, I know for a fact that if I stay off meat, that's my body.
You're right.
That my numbers look better.
Yeah,
that's my body now.
Yeah.
But in trying to teach that now to my children, which I should have taught it to them when they were babies, I didn't. We were running, and so that's the excuse. But nevertheless, if we begin to teach
It's real.
that next generation,
Mhm.
that prepares for the next generation and the next generation and next generation.
But,
So
Also, we got you got some hidden jewels, I would say, in the rubbish pile in that church. You got some senior citizens, I call it seasonal people, that they got that knowledge all in their head.
yes,
And it's stuck there. Sometimes it's dogma. It's just there. They forgot it. But people light up. I'm gonna give you an example. The BaoBab Farm, Stamps got some women out there, some seasonal women out there. And this one lady, I'm talking about, she retired 30 years, federal, all this stuff. But she got back in that garden. I'm talking about energy all the way up.
oh yeah.
She moving around. She coming out of that Stamps had. He said he had to tell her. He said, I want everybody. He's teaching everybody as a group.
Wow.
He's like, hey, I know you know this, but we got to learn together though, because right now, everybody knows, but USDA or Ag, they need more producers right now. Okay, then, but most times, what you'll see, give you an example. You'll see, for example, we saw one church right here, and another church across the street. When those churches be collaborating together,
That's right.
and or you have an individual say, I got my own home garden, right? But nobody won't be out there all that by themselves. I'm telling you, because I had to go war and stuff by myself sometimes. So I'm just saying, but Stamps, his main thing is part of the collaboration piece of it, whatnot, though, is to have more and more multiple people, whatnot, though, growing the produce, but also then learn the economic side of it. So we must attach the economic pieces, because once again, we're living in America. That's not going away no time soon.
And I think if we bring the people together, the conversation, talk about food.
There you go.
Let's just have a conversation about food. What you like, what you eat. It doesn't matter what denomination you are,
Mhm.
or religion. We talking about food today. We're not talking about speaking in tongues. We talking about
You're right.
we're talking about straight food. How and healthy foods. How can we do it? Then how can we even, I guess, even for Jackson, make sure that what you're watering it with, is healthy. Those kinds of things, those kind of conversations. And then you can start talking about the economic value, the economic side, and the financial side too also. But you start that grassroots piece by bringing them back to the soil. And we take that scripture, God created the heavens and the earth, go back to creation, and stem from there and begin to have the conversation. God, it was a systematic, things were put in place for man to live by. We follow those, we follow that pathway. I think, this next generation will have a better chance of survival.
Well, I'm gonna have to be a part of that generation now, because I can't wait for the next generation.
No, we have to get. My point is, we have to get them ready.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be part of that group.
Because we as a people normally want to do it now.
Oh, you're
we
right.
want to make sure we got it. But the problem is, sometimes we don't want to put something in place for the next.
You're talking about systems now.
And that's the way we. And that's the way,
institutions
that's
now.
what we
Come
do.
on now.
Exactly. That's the way.
Generational wealth, including health.
Exactly.
Generating health and wealth. You can't have a healthy body and mind if you take it in stuff that's gonna kill you out. This is the first generation. The grandparents are burying the parents and the kids
That's right.
because of the intake and not getting the outtake. There's
Well-
no more 90-year-olds and 100-year-old grandmothers. So right now, there's no more people that's healthy getting around. They're 60s and 70s. You see young people with chronic illness.
Yes.
Like you saying about because what they took in their bodies and in their
What they
bodies.
breathe in their body.
And what they breathe in their bodies, drinking in their bodies,
Yes,
and Jackson with
yes.
this. We got all
But
kinds
yeah,
of
but let me. But it's a serious matter. Sometimes you gotta laugh it off. It's so painful though. But I'll leave you guys with this. I'm gonna let you give us information and contact. You have about 7 blue zones around the world. Okay, then you can write this down. I know a lot about this type of stuff. You got 7 blue zones around the world, and these people live 90 plus years, or 100 plus years, and they walk in and doing everything by themselves. Okay, they don't have a system like America has. Okay, when you're talking about dealing with so much corporation involvement in people's daily lives, which is health. Okay, and so being that we come from a longevity background of have people live a long time. Okay, then because they were close to the earth. All right, then
Sure.
we have to find ways in a new way, an innovative way, I would say, to get that back and get it, where it needs to be here right now, this day of time. Let me take this call right quick. All right, appreciate it, man. Hello, caller, you on the air?
afternoon. Thanks for taking my call.
How you doing, Scab, man?
I'm listening to the conversation and I hear that we are unhealthy because of the things we eat, the things that we drink, etc.
Yes, sir.
But could there be another factor? I know you were talking about your grandmother, your grandmother would cook, and you were speaking about fire foods
Yes, sir.
and meat. So, are you saying meat is unhealthy for us in any form?
Oh, no, sir. I didn't say that. Not me.
I said for me.
Oh, yeah, the gentleman was speaking for himself, Mr. Scab, man.
Sir,
I said the gentleman was speaking. He said for himself.
I know.
He said fried food is not good for himself.
That's for me.
well, I understand that, but I'm just saying, is that the
I mean, it's well,
the eating habits, the drinking habits.
I've been
Could it be because of a lot of things that we put in our bodies that is manufactured through the laboratory that we call prescription drugs? Could that have
Mr. Cabby, I think it's a combination of all that. I believe it's a combination of all that, sir. And I've been told for us that love chicken, I heard we addicted to chicken. We don't really love it. We just addicted to it because of the chemicals in it.
That's right.
And that's what I've been told. So I don't.
Well, that being said about the chicken, now you know God, the chosen people had their own diet that was.
I've been told that.
by the Father.
Yes, sir, I've been told that.
So is it not? We've gotten away from that diet.
Yes, sir.
And you think it's a punishment that we're receiving because we're not listening to the Father?
Well, I'm not, I'm not able to specify on that. I would just say that when you know better, start to do better. That's all I can say, Mr. Cab, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, sir. Well, Mr. Cab, man, hey, now these callers, they be listening now. So, so I got to make sure I'm always being honest and truthful, whatnot, though. But there's studies out there, that's done about the chicken, especially how it affects certain demographic people, whatnot, though, and the chemicals in the air from the fast food. Sure. That when you drive by there, all of a sudden you weren't hungry, now you're hungry. But once again, it's all about capitalism. We got to make money.
That's right.
But Black churches, this justice thing here, environmental justice, we got to care about it now. Social justice too now.
That's right.
And so it was economical justice. So, hey guys, please give us your contact and information, whatnot, though. Thank you for coming this evening, please.
Sure. You can reach us at www.greenthechurch.org. www.greenthechurch.org.
All right. Well, Mr. John, you got any few words for me?
Yes, I just want everybody to remember on April 15th, we have now South Jackson Festival Parade and 5K. And you all are more than welcome to come back. We're also a 501c3, which is a collage of different neighborhoods. I call it collective collaboration. You're only strong as the people you know and what you know. Knowledge is the new wealth. And we talked about health and mind and body and spirit. To all those religious institutions out there, make sure that you come in, put a float and a presence into our community. Meaning there's no such thing as problems, just rules of application. If we was to take the scriptures and the words in the Bible and apply them, we'll have the desired results. And what we do in the Ask Jan is I tell people, there are no such thing, no good and bad neighborhoods. It's good and bad people within those neighborhoods. And like anything, anywhere, you can always find those and rectify those you can't rectify. You pray for them and lock them up. So whatever we do, we can't save a soul that don't want to be saved.
All right, hey, appreciate it, guys. Hey, I gotta roll. I'm head man getting on my case right now. But hey, Revive Mississippi, those, and we always love you guys. Please make sure never let no one get you to hate your own people. Okay, guys, be best, stay safe. Love you. Bye bye.
Turn that off.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys. Very appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
I'll get myself in trouble.
I guess because my father was in